Um, wow, it is really, really, really hot over there. My name is Regina. How's everybody doing? It's nice to see you all. I identify as bisexual. Yeah, which means unfortunately I'm attracted to men. A lot of men don't like that joke. Good. I'm also polyamorous, which is not surprising, right? Right? And I think everyone in Tallahassee is polyamorous though, because there's only like so much like going to North Florida Fair and like hiking and like kayaking you can do before you're like, fuck it, let's have a threesome. But it's Tallahassee, so people make it a political ideology to be really annoying about it. I'm actually those people, to be honest. I came out to my mom. Right. So she's very, very conservative, very, very Haitian, very, very Christian. Like we would go to church like 3 times a Sunday, just like all the time. Like even on my days off, you know? Like it'd be like Martin Luther King Day, and I still have to go to church. And I'm like, what the hell did this guy die for? Like I don't understand. Why am I doing this right now? Like, is this my dream was to sleep in. Anyways. But yeah, so I told my mom that, well, she found my dildo actually, and there was just trying to explain to a Haitian like woman that people like masturbate. That was not gonna work out. So she said in her like Haitian accent, I'm not good at doing accents. And I don't think it's racist because I'm Haitian, so I'm gonna do it anyway, so just, she goes, I'd rather you be with 50 men than to be with 1 woman. And I said, I already did that? Are you proud of me? Are you proud of me? Good, because she disowned me. It's okay, we make our own families, blah, 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 blah. But I am like very bad at driving. And I think it's because I'm not straight. So I just kind of go like this all the time. Like I can't do that. And I also can't park. So my car is in the middle of the road. So if anyone would like to volunteer to help me move it later, that'd be really, really awesome. Preferably not a man, though. I just don't want to give him that kind of satisfaction. Just don't want to do that. The other thing, I have a Dodge Charger. Right? It's one of those vroom vroom cars. Yeah. I kind of look like I just finished like my first like tour as like an Iraqi veteran, you know? Like I just came back from Iraq and I'm like, just for myself a little treat, you know? Just from the PTSD, you know? Yeah, but because I have my Dodge Charger and I'm not good at like cars in general, I can never figure out like which black car is mine. Not to be racist, I'm just like, I don't know. So I just keep grabbing like my like keys and I just keep pressing it until I like hear the sound like closer and I'm like beep 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 beep, and then eventually I do find my car. I'm supposed to do more crowd work. I'm gonna stop looking at this for a second. Does anybody want to volunteer for me to pick on them a little bit for the purpose of this show? just a little, just one, and I won't be mean. Of course. Let me guess, humiliation king. Yeah, so you'll be the person I'm gonna like pick on a little bit. I will not be available for any sort of aftercare. That's okay. If you have like a sub drop, subs, you gotta just be prepared all the time. Just bring your teddy bear, because you never know when you're gonna need to. You never know. I also recently got COVID too. So the first thing I thought about was how I was gonna make that funny. But it was kind of hard because it's a pandemic in which like 500,000 people have like died, and it's under like the worst like governor like ever, I feel like, with Florida, and just all the awful things, and just it under capitalism, like there's no way this pandemic's gonna end. And I just like tried really hard just trying to figure out like how I was gonna make that funny, and I just was not able to figure out how to make that funny. But I think I got COVID because I let a guy come in my mouth. I didn't swallow COVID, but I definitely gargled it, to be honest. If y'all don't know, you can actually get like one of the swabs for COVID and stick it in your throat. Try it. My wife tried it. I was like, go ahead and do that. And there was like do you know what's it called? Like the Pavlov like response to things. So when they did that, when they put the little like swab in their like throat, they started gagging, and then immediately I was like, oh, I don't know why that's happening. Like that's my kink. I was gonna tell you later. I'm also like a veteran. Because I support the troops. Yeah. He's got that PTSD dick. Because you can tell he's just like getting lost in the battlefield, like bombing my pussy. I'm a little afraid though that he's gonna think he's being waterboarded when we're having sex. So that's the one downside for that. Y'all wanna hear about the time I was a stripper? Yeah. Have you ever played dodgeball? Right, and then you have to pick teams, right? You know how there's like the last kid that gets picked? That was me. That did not work out. So I don't know if y'all are familiar so there's no strip clubs in Tallahassee. Y'all know that, right? Because the people in the Capitol would act the fool. So we just can't like have strippers. So there was like a 1-800 Dallas stripper like sort of like thing that I was like recruited for, and I was like, sure, I'll do it. But it was like really hard because I worked at Circle K. And so every time they would call me to like go do something, I'm like, I gotta focus on my career here. Just gotta keep like packing these boxes. One time though, I ended up finally getting called to do a show. Well, not a show, like a private dance with someone. And it was with this like white woman, and we drove like super, super far. Like I think we were like in Crawfordville or something. And when I opened the door, I swear to God, like this Hillary Clinton lookalike, and it's Crawfordville, and she looked at me and she's like, black people? So that was really weird. I'm like, this is not gonna go well. So, and I was providing security. I was not stripping. I don't know why I was providing security. So I was providing security, just safety. And so like I go inside, and she's like really weird, and she just keeps looking at me and is like, okay, here's $400. She just like gives this girl just like the money. I get half. I'm like, oh, awesome, this is going great. We're like, all right, let's go start dancing. She tries to start dancing, but there's a commercial for Spotify. And Also, there were 2 old white people in rocking chairs. I don't know if you've ever tried to do a lap dance in a rocking chair. It's really, really hard. And so I had to use my phone to play music. She's like, go ahead and play some music. And so part of me providing security is making sure that women, performers are not being improperly touched. And so I was over here, just by myself, giving them a time by themselves, alone. And then, this is true story. I hear her say, no, I'm not gonna do that. And then I'm like, oh, uh-oh. So I come closer and I sit down, and then, she already doesn't want my black ass in her house, and she's just very uncomfortable, and I'm like, look, I gotta protect my person. And then says it again, hey, I'm not doing that. And then she's like, you can leave. That was 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes between when I came in the door and then literally leaving. And she was like, yeah, you can leave. I didn't know there's gonna be all these people here. Usually white people view me as 3/5 of a person. The fact that she thought I was more than one person, I guess that's progress. So the moral of the story is don't go to Crawfordville. Don't go to Crawfordville to mysterious people's houses unless you're there to protect your friend. I don't know how much time I have left. Oh, I'm good. Okay, awesome. I've never had this much time before. That's why I'm like, do y'all like my pasties? I lied. They're not pasties. It's electrical tape. Because I'm part of the working class, and you gotta do kink on a budget, I think you kind of know, your class, connection when you're looking at certain sex toys, and you're too poor when you're I could make that. That's when you're when you start, pricing out, how much it would cost to go to Home Depot. But that's okay. You can still do it. You can still kink it out, working class or not. You can be kinky on a budget. Maybe don't go with leather. Go with pleather. Maybe instead of candle wax, hot cheese. You can just save so much money if you are just a little bit more innovative, and that's really just what's so great about being a working class person in this country. I also, so I've only been doing comedy for 3 or 4 months now, not a very super long time, but I'm pretty funny to be honest. Yes, I agree. And so I've started doing more comedy because I recently got off my antidepressants. So I really, really need a serotonin. So it's either this or masturbating all the time. But the choice is yours. So if you don't laugh at my joke, just know I have a backup plan. It is plug-in. So you won't have to worry about me anymore. Okay, I do have one more thing. So I learned about gay sex from church. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna explain the whole accent thing. So the visiting pastor came and he was like, oh, the lesbians, they get the fake penis and they put it inside of each other. I know, wild as fuck. Clearly watching porn and writing a sermon at the same time. Just multitasking, a real child of God. Just totally doing that. And so I was 12, and so I wrote in my Bible, the lesbians get the fake penis and they put it inside each other. And when I watched porn at 12, which no one should do, it's not a good idea, there's a pop-up for pink jelly double-sided dildos. which I understand. Y'all know that, you know what I'm talking with your gay ass. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It was a pop-up. I was confused because I thought that like everyone had a pink jelly double-sided dick, and just mine never dropped. And to this day, I'm still waiting for mine to come in. You can find me on the internet, by the way, if you want to see